All right, so this is a suggestion via channel member. The name of the video is The Supreme Court Sides with Parents on Objecting to Kids' Books on Gender Identity. Let's go ahead and jump into this video immediately. Let's see what this takes us.
Supreme Court ruling moments ago on the issue of birthright citizenship. These are the three cases that we are waiting on right now. So let me break them down for you. The first is Mahmoud versus Taylor, a case about LGBTQ books in the classroom.
They shouldn't be there.
Louisiana versus Calais, which is about a voter redistricting map. And Free Speech Coalition versus Paxton, which would place an age restriction on adult websites in Texas.
That should probably be nationwide, I'm going to be completely honest, but let's continue.
So our chief legal correspondent, Jan Crawford, is joining us now from Washington, D.C. To talk a little bit about this. Jan, you're refreshing the SCOTUS site. Anything yet on those three that we're waiting for?
We had a big one. Literally just dropped, Vlad. I mean,
break it down for us. It's breaking news.
Oh, I haven't read it yet. It literally just went up on the website. It is a decision. I'm going to tell you just the top headline. It's a decision in the case about parents and whether or not they can opt their elementary school kids out of that story time. It's written by...
Oh, then definitely yes. Okay, like so for example, I'm definitely less against it in college because, bro, do your thing. You're out of your parents' house. You have your own life that you're going to be living ahead of you. Guys, do your own thing completely. Elementary school? Are you serious? Was that even a thing? Like, in my head, I'm just like, this is going to be like middle school or something, high school or something. Elementary? No, stop playing.
By Justice Alito, and it
stop playing immediately.
Says, just at the top, that yes, they are entitled to do that based on their sincerely held religious beliefs.
Okay.
So, Jan, why don't you continue?
Answer.
Why don't you take a look through that?
The parents, as Jessica was predicting, the parents win.
The parents win on that. All right.
Why would the parents not win on that?
While you go through that decision, I don't want to have you on camera while you're sort of reading and taking it all in, but let's bring back Jessica Levinson just again to refresh our viewers' memories. If you're just joining us now on CBS News 24/7, we, before the break, were talking about this decision, this very decision that has just come in now from the Supreme Court regarding parental opt-outs for LGBTQ books in classrooms. Jan, again, for people who are just joining us now, because I can see the push alerts going out on social media that we do have another decision from the Supreme Court. So just recap for our viewers what was up for a decision, and then we'll go back to Jan and for a debrief on it, and then we'll come back to you for your take.
Sure. So I think I maybe got three more words than Jan was able to look at here. The bottom line is that the parents lodged a First Amendment claim saying that it violated their free exercise clause rights to not have notice and an opt-out provision when their children were read LGBTQ inclusive educational materials at school. Justice Alito wrote the opinion. It looks like it is exactly as we talked about a few moments ago, Vlad, a win for the parents. I saw very briefly the majority saying that parents have genuinely held beliefs and that it substantially infringes on those beliefs not to provide them with notice and an opt-out when certain materials are read to their parents. I think this is part of
read to their kids, I'm sure.
A larger theme of this court being very protective of the rights of religious objectors and protective of free exercise clause rights. Vlad, as we talked about before, I think the fascinating part of this will be looking to see exactly how the court creates the standard for determining when parents are entitled to notice and an opt-out.
Yeah, that's a shame because I do think parents should immediately be told if there's going to be any type of this type of thing. Not specifically when it comes to the LGBTQ books, guys. Right? I had to read it. Apologies. Whenever it comes to that, one thing. That's one thing. But even just any type of romantic, bro, why are you teaching my elementary kid any of this stuff? Like, they don't really need to know that yet. Let me be the person, to explain some of these things in an adequate manner. Listen, I would not be surprised if this brought some homeschool kids back to school. Okay, I'm gonna be honest here, because there are a lot of kids who are out of school currently because of the overall doctrine that's being consistently pushed by the left, and obviously the teachers are most of them seem to be very left-leaning. So Yeah. If this goes through completely, then I can definitely see a gigantic return back to the school, and obviously more kids in school means more money for the school. So I see it as a beneficial, a win-win scenario here.
I think my guess, again, looking extremely fast, which is that the court is going to stay fairly close to these particular facts and try and highlight that this is not open season for parents to start saying, we don't want our children to hear X and to hear Y and to hear Z, because you do want to provide school boards with some ability to dictate their curriculum.
Imagine.
So again, this case, as we talked about before the break, I think predicted a win for the parents, a win for those claiming that their free exercise clause rights are infringed upon. And again, the real question here will be how the opinion is drafted in order to make sure that school boards can still dictate large portions of their own curriculum.
Oh, this is happening in California. The Supreme Court, hopefully this is like nationwide, but I see that this person is speaking from California, so I can fully understand how this is big news out there.
All right, Jessica Levinson there for us. Jessica, stand by. Jan, back to you. Jessica and I were talking earlier, you as well, about how this could potentially go, and it's just as you predicted, the justices siding with the parents.
Right, and this one was 6-3 with the liberals also in dissent. Jessica, she's obviously so brilliant. She's always getting it right. I mean, this is an issue that this Supreme Court has been really concerned about, kind of the people's ability to kind of freely express their religious beliefs. And the court, in his opinion, Justice Alito essentially says that, the First Amendment protects parents from having to make the choice of, sending their kids to a private school if they don't agree with some of the potentially religious messages that they feel they're getting that could contradict their religious beliefs. It's interesting because this case, the way it's come about, and I thought at argument why I was confident that the court was going to rule for the parents, the justices actually read the books that were at issue. There were half a dozen books.
I'm sure those are crazy, bro.
That teachers were instructed they could pick from to read to these elementary school students.
And they
specifically asked about a number of these books during the argument. And while it was kind of portrayed as books with LGBTQ themes and characters, some of the books the justices suggested went well beyond that to actual, almost as someone suggested, indoctrination.
Don't say it.
And Justice Alito has...
Okay, hold on. Which one looks like the highest level of indoctrination? Probably the Born Ready one. The Born Ready one probably is like the most. I don't know what Love Violet is. You guys, these are kids. They shouldn't even be like trying to get in some type of like romantic relationship in elementary school, guys. All right, it's just my opinion here. I mean, obviously, I was born in the 1900s. Apparently, I'm an old man now. My thoughts are old now, right? But either way, I made it through the 90s, early 2000s, Eminem. But either way,
attached pages from some of the books in the back of his opinion as an appendix, pages that say that kids can pick their pronouns, that they should be able to decide if they want to be a girl or a boy, embracing the idea that gender is fluid. I think that had a pretty big impact on how the justices saw this case. I think it's a narrow ruling. I agree. I don't think it's going to have a real impact to your concerns earlier, but we'll get through that one and talk about that in an hour or two.
All right,
Jeez,
Jan Crawford
guys.
for us, reporting from our bureau in D.C. As always, Jan, great to have you. Thank you so much.
Okay, listen, guys. If you are an adult, I want you to live your best life. I need you to understand that thoroughly. I do not care. Bro, I have gay friends, and like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, I have one gay friend. Listen, hold on here. That sounds crazy. But listen, I seriously do. I like one of my best friends, specifically in Spain when I'm out there. He's gay, and I have no problem with the man. He lives his best life, married to a man, a dude, right? They both got beards, cool guys, right? But the point I'm trying to make here is that, bro, live your best life if you're an adult, please. But under no circumstance am I going to allow you to entertain my kids with any of your stuff, your adult stuff, right? Like, I do not partake in anything, romantic or like, overboard, let's say, around or in front of any of my children, guys. That's not a thing. I will let them know when it is time to know what things are. But until then, I want them to, maintain their innocence, period, right? But I also do not allow my kids to go to any type of public school, right? So like, I hear what you're saying with the curriculum, but under no circumstance are any of my kids in any form of public school, right? And to be honest, the majority of my family, even, none of the kids are in public school, right? Like, almost on purpose, right? Because whatever's going on with the left right now is wild. And even some of the left-leaning family members are choosing to homeschool. Just understand that. So we have a good amount of homeschool kids in my family. And I mean, like, the majority of the ones who are like considered Gen Z and Gen A, none of them are in public school. Right. None of them are in public school. So whatever's going on out there, bro, is wild. All right. I know California's losing their mind over this, bro. I know it. I smell that immediately. And this is coming from California. The woman definitely felt she was moderately disheartened that she could no longer, implant seeds into the kids' minds and things like that. Bro, let that kid be a kid. All right. My kid the other day said he was like a T-Rex or something. I'm just like, bro, you're not a T-Rex, but live your best life. Right. All types of craziness. But in all actuality, I will reaffirm that he's a, young boy. But that's not the point here. All right. So this was an interesting one. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. You guys all have an absolutely amazing day. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. In the meantime, I will catch you guys later.